learn how to make this coin first with these easy steps. Let's start by making a rectangular panel. Then add the edging and work the cross-spot stitch for the border. We're also gonna learn some zipper installation techniques. Then we'll make the side panels. And finally, we'll attach the handmade metal tag to complete the design. For the materials you will need, cotton tube yarn approximately 50 grams. It's soft, stretchable, and easy to work with, especially for stitches that require attention. This yarn is classified as medium or size 4 and is made of 68% cotton and 32% nylon. This yarn is available online on Shopee. You can check the shop link in the description box below. A 4mm ETIMO pink tulip hook, 5mm hook for the foundation chain, metal tag embellishment, continuous zipper tape number 5, number 5 zipper slider, ball head pins, sewing thread and needle, scissors, darning needle, and stitch markers. And here are the abbreviations I used for this pattern in US terminology. Hey everyone, I'm Claire and welcome to Crochet Crafts. Join me as we learn how to crochet like pros. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Now grab your yarn and hook and let's get started. To create lizard stitches, we'll use a 5mm hook for the foundation chain only. This holds as we'll be working into the back ridge or back bump of the chain for row 1. Now make a slip knot and chain 23. After chaining 23, switch to a 4mm hook. Now we're going to work into the back ridge or back bump of the chain. To begin row 1, skip the first chain, then work a single crochet into the back ridge of the second chain. Now continue working single crochets all the way across.
What the dog doing?
Next, mark the first and last stitches at the bottom. To start row 2, pull up the working loop slightly, turn your work, and make a single crochet into the first stitch. Now continue making single crochets all the way across. Next, repeat this pattern for rows 3 to 14. After completing 14 rows of single crochets, let's move on to the panel edging and cross puff stitch border. Now, for round 1 of the edging, turn your work and make 21 single crochets across. Next, place a stitch marker in the first stitch of this round. Now keep making single crochets all the way across until you reach the next corner. Next, work 3 single crochet increases into the last stitch. Next, mark the second stitch of the increase, and this will be our corner stitch. Now, I've inferred some techniques for working into the side spaces to prevent skip stitches. This time, we'll make 2 single crochets on top of the ridge line, starting with the first ridge line next to the corner increase. So the ridge line is this dotted line that forms in every second row of single crochets. Now start at the first ridge line and make 2 single crochets on top of each ridge line stitch across.
What the dog doing?
Now we have 6 sets of 2 single crochets on ridge line stitches right after our corner increase. And again, we'll make 3 increases for the corner. Now remove the stitch marker. And make 3 single crochets in the same stitch. You can also hide the yarn tail under the stitches. Next, place a stitch marker and the corner stitch. Now continue working single crochets across until you reach the next corner. Again, make 3 increases in the marked stitch and mark the second stitch. Next, work 2 single crochets on each ridgeline stitch. Now we're going to make 2 single crochets in the last ridgeline stitch, which is the same stitch as the first single crochet. This completes the 3 single crochet increase for the corner. Next, move the stitch marker to the last stitch, which will be the corner stitch. Now this is the start of round 2, where we'll begin the cross puff stitch border. First, make 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Please note this is the first side of the panel. Now, make a puff stitch into the marked stitch, and do not remove the stitch marker. Yarn over, insert the hook into the marked stitch, pull up a loop, and repeat twice more. Next, yarn over and pull 4 olives on the hook and chain 1. Now skip the next stitch and make a single crochet in the following stitch. Next, make a puff stitch into the skip stitch, then chain 1. Now repeat this pattern until you have a total of 11 cross puff stitches across. After completing 11 cross puff stitches, there should be one stitch left before the corner stitch. Now remove the stitch marker, skip one stitch, and make another cross puff stitch into the corner stitch. Now you should have a total of 12 cross puff stitches for the long side outer panel. Now let's turn clockwise and begin side 2. This is our turning point, and this time don't skip a stitch. Instead, make one single crochet and the next stitch. Next, make a puff stitch into the previous stitch and chain 1. This will create a V-shaped puff stitch and form the corner. Now, place the stitch marker into the corner space. Now skip one stitch, make one single crochet in the next, then work a puff stitch into the skip stitch. Now complete a total of 7 cross puff stitches across. Start counting for the first puff stitch made after the corner stitch marker. After completing 7 cross puff stitches, there should be one stitch left before the corner stitch. Now, remove the stitch marker and make another cross puff stitch into the corner. Now you should have a total of 8 cross puff stitches for the short side of the panel. Now let's begin side 3. Again, this is our turning point and we're not skipping a stitch. Make a single crochet in the next stitch and complete the cross puff stitch. Again, place a stitch marker into the corner space. Next, skip the next stitch and complete a total of 11 cross puff stitches across.
What the dog doing?
After completing 11 cross puff stitches, work another in the next corner stitch.
What the dog doing?
Again, you should have a total of 12 cross puff stitches for the long side of the panel. Now let's begin side 4. Turn clockwise and again don't skip a stitch. Make one single crochet into the next and complete the cross puff stitch.
What the dog doing?
Again, mark the corner space. Next, skip the next stitch and complete a total of 7 cross puff stitches across.
What the dog doing?
After making 7 cross puff stitches, skip the next stitch, make a single crochet into the marked stitch, then complete the puff stitch.
What the dog doing?
Again, you should have a total of 8 cross puff stitches for the short side of the panel. Next, remove the stitch marker and join the round on top of the puff stitch. First, turn project to the back side. Insert hook on top of the puff stitch. Pull up a loop and chain 1. Now to begin round 3, work a stack double crochet into the corner space. First, make a single crochet into the corner space. Then insert your hook into this loop and make another single crochet.
What the dog doing?
Next, make a double crochet into the same corner space. Next, mark the first stitch, which will be the corner stitch. Now, work 2 single crochets into each cross puff stitch spaces.
What the dog doing?
Repeat this pattern across until you reach the next corner. Next, work 3 double crochets into the corner space.
What the dog doing?
Again, mark the corner stitch.
What the dog doing?
Continue this pattern all the way around until you reach the last corner space, and always place a stitch marker into the corner stitch.
What the dog?
At the end of the round, make 1 double crochet into the corner space to complete the 3 double crochet increase in the corner. Now slip stitch into the first stitch to join the round. Next, secure the working loop with a stitch marker and don't cut the yarn just yet. Now we're finished with the center panel, and let's move on to zipper installation.
What the dog doing?
First, turn the panel to the wrong side. Then flip the zipper half over to the wrong side. Now position the zipper along the edge of the panel, find the center, and ensure the seam allowance is evenly distributed on both sides. Next, in the center of the zipper like this. The zipper should be positioned along the fabric edge, with the zipper teeth visible only from the outside. You can also adjust and align the zipper teeth from the outside if you have to. Next, add more pins to the left and right sides of the zipper. Now bend the sides of the zipper to create a curved corner. Hold the zipper at this part. Then bend and align it exactly with the edge of the panel. Next, take the extra fabric and fold it down to the side. Now pin the folded part. And ensure that the zipper teeth do not show from the outside. Next, repeat the step on the other side. Make sure to check the alignment before sewing the zipper.
What the dog doing?
Next, we're going to sew along the bottom edge of the zipper guideline. Let's start sewing from the bottom side. Following the guideline all the way up, then turn clockwise, continue sewing across, and then go down. Make sure to maintain the seam allowance so the zipper slider can be attached smoothly. Now start sewing from the bottom with the running stitch. To keep it seamless, we're only sewing through a small part of the fabric from the outside. Now keep sewing all the way up, following the bottom edge of the guideline. Make sure to avoid stitching through the working loop. From the outside, follow the bottom edge of the stitches as a guideline while sewing all the way across.
What the dog doing?
Once you're finished, repeat the step on the other side. Next, ensure both zipper halves are aligned when folded before sewing the other side.
What the dog doing?
You can also use a lighter to seal the ends of the zipper. Now, start sewing the second zipper half. After finishing both sides of the zipper, let's move on to making the side panels. First, remove the stitch marker.
What the dog doing?
Now chain 1, and make 1 single crochet into the first stitch. Next, mark the first stitch. Now work 9 single crochets in the back loop only. So make regular single crochets in the first and last stitch only to maintain structure and prevent stretching. Next, squeeze over the next 3 stitches to form the corner.
What the dog doing?
Now repeat this step once. Next, work 9 single crochets across.
What the dog doing?
After 9 back loop single crochets, make a regular single crochet in the last stitch. Next, roll the stitch marker. Turn your work to the wrong side. Then fold it in half. Now insert your hook into the first stitch and the first stitch on the other side. Next, join the edges with a slip stitch.
What the dog doing?
Continue stitching across until you reach the corner.
What the dog doing?
Now cut the yarn and weave in the ends at the corner. Next, turn your work to the right side.
What the dog doing?
Then attach the zipper slider as shown. Now this might be tricky at first, but with practice it gets easier. Now separate the zipper again and start working on the right side panel.
What the dog doing?
Now let's repeat the pattern and start with a corner stitch. First, remove the stitch marker. Insert your hook into the marked stitch. Pull up a loop, then chain 1. Next, make 1 single crochet into the same stitch. You can also hide the yarn tail under the stitches. Now repeat the pattern as we did for the left side panel. Once again, make a regular single crochet in the last stitch. Now remove the stitch marker, then turn your work to the wrong side to join the edges with a slip stitch. You can also sew the zipper ends together from the inside to secure them. Next, attach the metal tag to the center of the coin purse and secure it with a back plate from the inside. That's all for today's tutorial. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or suggestions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching!